Yeah, my name's Gilbert Vincent Juarez, and I'm a trumpet student. As a young boy growing up, I was exposed to a lot of different types of music. And I remember being in elementary, and I was at my godfather's house, and he was a guitarist. I remember growing up seeing these pictures of black and white pictures of him holding this guitar. That was the coolest thing I ever seen. And in his house, as he was raising his family, his kids were all musicians. Cousin Angie was the clarinetist, cousin Joe was the saxophone, and Gabriel was the trumpet player, a trumpet student at the time. And man, I tell you what, I saw that trumpet, and I was intrigued. I heard him play it, and I said, man, that sound is for me. And I was in the 5th grade, I think, and he was already, I think, in the 9th grade when he got his first trumpet. Because in junior high, you generally start off with a cornet, And anyhow, he had it on his bed one night, and he played it, put it down, and I picked it up, and he's like, man, you don't know how to play that. And I said, man, you're right, I don't. And after that, I was challenged. I thought, man, I want to learn how to play this instrument. So when my turn came to join band in the 6th grade, I was at Hambrick with studying under Miss Diana. She was cool. I got a cornet, and my parents got me a cornet, and I played from there for about a year, 6th grade, 7th grade. And after that, she had a meeting with my parents, said, hey, your son is ready to move on to a trumpet, And my pops, man, he didn't hesitate, man, All right, we're going to find him a trumpet. Mom and Dad both came through, and they bought me a box Stradivarius, a silver one, model 37. I remember getting that and playing it all the time, man, all the time. At that time, music was all about, football stuff, doing pep rallies and all that stuff. But in my home, my grandfather would play old Glenn Miller stuff. He would play Glenn Miller, big band stuff. He would play Red Nichols and the Five Pennies, Tommy Dorsey, Harry James, all big band jazz stuff. And that sound, man, really did something to me. I remember him watching him play the records, and I would watch him. And when we would have these gatherings and they'd be playing Tejano, it was always drinking and partying. But when he'd have these records on, he was chill. He was laid back. It was something nostalgic about it. I'd see him drift away. His eyes were like a million miles away. I don't know what he was thinking, but the music did that to him. And I was intrigued by that. And so I started to kind of look around and see what is jazz about, And one night I left my little recorder on. I had a little radio. I don't remember what it was, but it was a cassette. And I had left it on for it to catch a Midnight Jazz episode. They recorded Miles Davis Kind of Blue. At the time, I didn't know what it was, but it recorded it, and I listened to it all the time. So that was my first exposure to jazz, was through Miles. Went to high school that summer after I got that recording. I was listening to it all the time. Started high school, and I played this recording for Diaz. I had a little Walkman that had this little orange styrofoam or little orange foam ear covers, and I let him say, "Hey Diaz, what is this?" And he says, "Oh, that's Miles Davis." And I said, "Well, shoot, I said I like Miles Davis, And from there, man, it was on, Being in high school with Diaz, man, he exposed us to a lot of world-class musicians. I mean, we had Terrence Blanchard come through, Wynton Marsalis, and Dougal Chancellor. I mean, just to name a few. We were very fortunate, man, very, very fortunate to be a part of that, seeing that different world. I played all through high school. I think in '93 I graduated, and I played for a couple years after that. I can't think, everything kind of changed for me, After I got out of high school, the reality of work kicked in. I had to work. Hard work was kind of something that we were born to do, in a sense. You had to give it all you had, and I couldn't do both. So I started working. I worked for I think my last professional gig was a couple years out of high school. I think I was 20. And then from 20 till, 16 years later, I didn't play. In that time, I had gotten married and had some kids. Good times, when the kids were little, when they were born, Gloriana came first. And she, I wanted to play a little bit with her when she was born. I picked up the horn, dusted it off, and played a few notes. And then I put it down again. And then Gilbert and Josephine were born about 6 years later. The same thing, picked it up and played a little bit. But with all three of them, I started to, trying to practice again. So after 16 years, I was like, I think I can do this, So I started playing again, and I think I played for about 4 or 5 years. And at that time, in that spread, I was fortunate to play with Joe Sample and his big band. That was cool. Joe Sample, man, that guy was a beast, just a magician on that piano, A very memorable moments. Learned a lot from him. But again, I put it down. I put that horn down again for about 3 or 4 years again. I put it down. I had a moment where I asked God. I said, God, because I was always hearing different things about musicians wanting to bring life into the world. They want to create beautiful music for this corrupt world. All musicians. I was all over. I think I just heard that last night. Someone saying that on TV. I don't remember exactly who it was, but I said to myself, I asked God. I said, God, is this the road for me? Am I going to create music to change the world? And he told me. He said, no. I said, you're not going to do that. And he goes, if you want to change the world, you live in, I need you to focus on your children. Say no more. I put the horn down again, and I focused on them. Did the whole thing, camping, fishing, board games, did everything for about a good 4 or 5 years to stay focused on the kids. And I think this was in we're already in 2019 now. We're a ways down the road here. I saw a message from a cousin, Misty Laura. Misty said that one of her friends was looking for a trumpet player, and I said okay. And it was kind of cool because Misty Laura is a descendant of my grandmother, Enedina Garcia. And it was kind of like she was telling me, it's okay to start playing again. The kids are bigger. You did what God told you to do. You love this instrument. Because this horn, man, out of all the instruments, to me, this is the most majestic. It's just it's the sound that we read about when they said that God spoke. He said his voice sounded like a trumpet. That was pretty cool. So I felt like I had her blessing. Everything was cool. I said okay. So it came about to where Karina Stahl was looking for a horn player, and I asked if I could give it a shot, and sure enough, started playing again for about 2 years, and then COVID came.
More than 800,000. That's how many people have died in the United States since the start of the pandemic.
COVID came, and in 2020, I shut it down again. I shut it down for a good almost 4 years. 3 and some change. I started playing again about 4 months ago, and this is kind of where I'm at now with it. Starting all over again. When I practice now, it's different. It's like it's almost like I'm out of time. I got to really put everything I can into it. When I practice, I know that it's hard work, and I shouldn't be discouraged by the things that I can't do, because I practice stuff that I don't know, just to be a better musician, And it's funny is that I have this in my little practice setup where I play at. I have a mic and I have a hatchet, an old little axe. It was my father's tool. This was the tool that he used to buy the trumpet for me. He was a roofer for 25 years, but there was a small spread in time when he was working with the type of roof where it was a wood shingle, and he would use this little hatchet and he'd cut this wood and he'd put these shingles up on the roof. And I tell you what, man, to this day, I've never seen anyone work as hard as my father. That's a real cat, man. So I keep that hatchet there to remind me that if you want to succeed, it's going to be hard work. I have him with me today. I still do. But when I see that there, I hear him. Don't give up. Keep doing what you're doing. It ain't going to be easy, but you're going to get it done. And it's pretty cool. It's just it's a part of me. I keep it there to remind me of where I come from. So like I said, I feel like time is fading, and every moment that I have, I need to do the very best that I can with this, because it is something that I've loved. It's been a part of my life for many years. Shoot, I married my high school sweetheart, and I met her in band. She was a clarinetist. She still plays. She started playing again, should I say. If it wasn't for music, I would have never met her. If it wasn't for music, I would have never had these kids. It's beautiful. Music is just been a part of my life. Even in the years that I didn't play, she always called to me, But it was just life got busy, and I didn't have the opportunity to play as much as I wanted to. But now that the kids are a little bit bigger, they do their own thing. My son, he's picking up trumpet. He plays a little bit now. He's learning. My daughter, she's a vocalist and a guitarist, and that's Gloriana. And Josephine, my youngest, she just recently picked up a drum set, and she wants to be a percussionist. And she's actually pretty good at it. She's a natural, And it's kind of cool to see that that we're all involved in this. My kids, man, they were baptized by the sound of horn, man. There was that's what they heard when they were little, Until God told me to step back for a second, and I had to do what He said. Can't go against Him. They say that we're made in His image, and at the same time, in His image, He's a creator, and at all times we must stay creating. With that being said, I looked at this moment when I was asked to do this interview, and I went back and I looked at some interviews and of different musicians, and they were speaking about music. In all my years of listening and studying music, I realized after seeing these different interviews that I know nothing about music. So here I am. I'm going to start over and get this done right.